Yo, we're back once again. ISO, rag, door mirror. We are going to show you how to wrap your wing mirror cover or door mirror cover. Just cleaning it down with some isopropanol. You need to clean all the edges. Make sure you clean all the edges. A lot of people wrap mirrors on cars. Nothing wrong with that. I just use my shoehorn and do them in here where it's warm. Just cleaning the edges up. This mirror is off of a Volkswagen Transporter. Could you do it in one piece? You see all these videos on Instagram where people like going and stretching material over it and stuff like that, and you're like, is it actually that easy? Does it actually work? Yeah, it will actually work if you get the material hot enough. Is it going to last? That is the question. I'm going to do it in two pieces. I'm going to do this bit and then I'm going to do this bit. Even the manufacturer, someone's upset Ramsey. Even they can't do it in one bit because there's a glue line on the mirror. Glue line? Hey! Look, we were doing videos and now even the manufacturer makes this in two pieces, hence the glue line in the mirror. They make this bit, they make this bit, and then glue it together. By the looks of it, we're going to wrap the end and then we're going to wrap the top. We're going to use some Knifeless tape, we're going to use a wrap glove, cleaned, ready to go. You could use the famous Primer 94 if you need it. We don't need it on these because we don't. Knifeless, and we use Knifeless because we get a lovely line on top of our existing glue line. We fold that under there, and then we are literally just going to follow the line that is on the cap already, all the way down and under. Leave a long enough tail for me to rip it off. I always leave short tails and then I regret it. Like, oh, save the material, save the tape, because it's quite expensive. So we have our tape, we need to do the end cap. We could either do it in here and push the mirror up and do it all nice and professional, which we might do. Shall we do it for this video? It's going to use more material and you can just do it by hand. Let's use the horseshoe. Again, this was one of those things I saw on Instagram and I was like, no way. Get some heat on it, get a glove on it, I'm going to warm till all your lines disappear. So what we want to do is we want to stick the edge of the material with the tape. We want to stick this edge first so that we know there is no tension in the material. We're literally just going to push that up there. Going to warm the edge. Going to find out where our tape is. There it is. And we now know that there's a wrinkle. There we go. Right. That's the tape line that you can see I've pushed down on. So there's no tension here and there's a little bit in there, but that's fine because that's the way that we're going to go with the material. So you can literally just warm this up, nothing too crazy, and all you do is push the mirror into the material. Like vacuum forming, but the other way around. And then you can just squeegee or use your thumb or your finger and then just work the material down. If you really want, you could probably cut it out. Push it all down like so. And again, we can let it relax now. Literally my hand is not even really, it's just holding the weight of the mirror. And we're just gonna push that in there like so. Perfect. Now, what we can do, cut the material out, cut the mirror out. And if we heat this mirror like this, all the material all the way around the edge, you can see that the edges don't bunch up. So there is no tension on the edges, which is exactly what we want. And that's what this tool does, is it disperses all the tension. Actually really good. For doing fiddly bits, they are definitely worth their money. And then I'm literally just going to go around the edges, feed it in, tuck it round, tuck it under. And this is the reason I like to take mirror caps off, because the bit that I'm doing at the moment, you wouldn't be able to do that bit with the mirror on the car, because it would be under the black bit, under the trim or the mirror housing or whatever you want to call it. Just going to fold it under. And the other good thing about folding it under is, you know, you've got a good return on the material and it's never going to fail. Whereas sometimes, depending on your skill level, when you wrap mirrors on the car, you always cut on the edges. So there's always the risk that the material could lift. Even if it's one little finger, it's still going to lift. Whereas this way, you can fold it all in, all the way under, no issues. There's a little bit of tension here, so I could probably put a relief cut in there, because we're going to cut here anyway, because that's where our string is. So we can do that. This bit is going to get wrapped with this side, so we can now do the edge like so. And also the bit that we're doing now, you wouldn't be able to get to with the mirror on, but when the mirror folds away, you'll see it. So now we've wrapped all the way in, you wouldn't ever know. I'm just going to slice our material. Look at that lovely long tail. It's a bit over the top really, but pull the string like so. We need to get the 2 strands out from under the mirror like that. And now what we're going to do is our tension test, as I like to call it, the wrinkle test. We haven't pushed this edge down yet. And if there was loads of tension in there, then it would all buckle up again. But as you can see, it hasn't even moved. We know that we can now push that down, and we're never going to have material lift in that area, unless you pick it. If you're a picker, then it's going to be a problem. So we've done that. We can now trim around the edge, just a mil of material for me to fold round on itself like that. Nice straight edge. Trim the bottom the same, ta-da! Like so. And again, we can just heat the edge up. You can see there's nothing of any issues there. I am just going to slice it there so that that goes in nicely. That all folds in and tucks under like so. I might do the same on that as well. Tiny little, it's just where the angles are quite tight. That is that bit done. So now we're going to do this bit. I'm just going to wipe it down with ISO again because it had my sticky mitts all over it. Spray a little bit on there, wipe that down like that, and then we're going to put another piece of Knifeless tape on top of the red. So we'll just let that ISO flash off quickly. If you're impatient, use your heat gun. And we're just going to follow this line now on top of the red, right on the edge, so that we've got a nice thin joint. I'm trying to hold a mirror with my tummy. There we go, all the way up. Like so. Again, leave a nice tail under there, tuck that in under that side, and there we have it, our second joint. Here we go, material, cut oversize for my horseshoe, or U-bracket, or whatever you want to call it. And stick that on there, like so. Where's my glove? Lost my glove. We're just sticking the film to the edge of the U thing, whatever you want to call it. So we're doing this so that when you push the material up, it don't unstick and punch you in the face. Done that before. We got a little bit extra here, which is going to be because the mirror is too long. If we do it that way, yes, it fits in the hole. You won't be able to get the material without putting loads of stretching. This bit here is going to go here on the tape, which is nice and relaxed, and then we're going to push the mirror up underneath like so. First of all, I'm just going to get it in the right place. We might have to heat the material back up again in a minute. We are just going to warm that bit, and then I'll be able to push it down with my finger like so. And the same as the first bit that we did. We know that there's no tension there because the material is essentially relaxed. That's that. Get it off of that bit a little bit. So we're going to use some heat. We're going to warm all of this, and we're going to start going for it. I do have a little wrinkle this end though, so we'll see what happens. I think it's come out, which is good. We need to start squeegeeing, or using your hand. And again, there's not really much tension on this. It's just me holding the mirror up. A couple of little bubbles, they'll come out. There we go. There's a small crease on this side. Again, that's come out, thank you. Right, so now we've got to the point we can't really get much more material. That is the edge of the mirror though, so it's almost there. We probably could just warm that up a little bit and just push that down. What we'll do is we will trim it off, like so. Okay, and so that we don't get ourselves in a pickle, we're gonna trim this here, so we know we've got enough, and then we're gonna go out that way, so that we know we don't cut it short. And then what we can do is, it's literally just that last little triangle bit. If we warm the material up, you can just hook it over like so. Nice and easy. Get that little wrinkle out. We know that this edge is good to go because that's where we started with. So we can trim that like so. Definitely need a new blade in there. Right, and this top bit, you just need, I'm wondering if we need any heat. Maybe just a fraction. The edge is there. You don't have to go very far. I'm just thinking a little bit of heat to get that over there. And yes, there's a little bit of stretch there, but it's nothing that the material couldn't handle as such. But I have seen that my knifeless tape has moved. My knifeless tape has moved. It's come off of the edge. I just need to put that back on where it belongs. There we go. Luckily, it went over too far on the material, but sometimes it could have moved the other way, and then when you cut it, it could have gone short. It's always worth double checking before you pull the string. So we're just gonna hook it around the edge. Just gonna fold it around the front of the mirror, and then we can trim, again, just a little bit off of it so we're not getting ourselves all caught up in the material. And trim around there. So there could be a little bit of tension here. You can see the wrinkles. There's not a great deal there, to be honest with you. And by the time I've folded it under like that and trimmed it up, and then the mirror sits on the cover sits actually on the mirror, then there's nothing to worry about. If that was just a bare edge and you'd cut it here, then I'd probably say that that's gonna cause you a problem. But because it's gone right round and under, I'm not worried by that at all. So we just trim the edge and the corner, and then we can run our blade down on the inside edge. Remember, don't cut the knifeless tape. So we just cut the waste off, and then we want to pull the string, cut the string. Before we do that, make sure that that is all stuck down nicely so that nothing moves when we pull it. And also this bit here, that needs to go around there, which is not going to want to do. We're going to need to relief cut just in there. And now that will go down there where we need it to. And there's a tiny, tiny little joint in there. That sits in the mirror, so you're never ever going to see it. Right, tape. Here we go. Pull that down there, pull that off there. Make sure you get both of the tapes out again. So we know that that is a top edge. We've heated it. There's nothing to hold it down. There's nothing to return or stick on, but we know that there's no tension in that. Is what I call a good edge. Just get that glue off. Customer's taking their car. This edge here, once we've straightened it all out, let's see if there's any tension in there. There's a little bit, but nothing to worry about. So we can just feed that all the way in. I did notice when I did, it wasn't the last one I did, I did a white one, and I didn't do this edge right down here. I trimmed it on here, and when the mirror cap was clipped onto the mirror, you could see a white line all the way through the edge of the mirror. This time I'm going all the way. But this one's black underneath, so a lot easier. Well, it's not easier, you just don't have to be as methodical. You can almost, is it like rude to call it wrapping lazy? Pull those down, there we go. So that's all in. You can fold it under like we did before. Trim. You need to let us know in the comments what colour you think I should wrap my own car, because we can't decide. It's causing me upset. What colour would be a good colour to wrap an Audi RS6? It's neon. One mirror cap completed. All good. Lovely. Done the edge, returned it all the way around, trimmed it up, heated it, cooked it. There's no pigment, there's no stretch or overstretch. Yeah, nice easy one to do. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your dogs, tell your children. We're on our way to 300 subscribers now.